The first thing he feels is cold metal against his skin. His body jerks awake, adrenaline spiking as his senses return all at once. He can't move. Thick leather straps dig into his wrists and ankles, pinning him down. His chest heaves, but even his torso is restrained, bound so tightly he can barely breathe. The room around him is dim, the buzzing of old fluorescent lights crackling in his ears. Where is he? What is happening? A sharp burst of static fills the room. A speaker somewhere overhead clicks on. "Prisoner 917, a voice drones. Deep, mechanical, unfeeling. "You have been found guilty of crimes against humanity. You will now receive your sentence." Crimes? What crimes? He tries to scream, to beg, but his throat is raw. His mind is a blur. He remembers nothing before waking up in his chair. His name, his past, gone. A second voice, distant but clear, mutters from beyond the room. "Initiate execution." A switch is thrown. Pain, agony. A lightning storm rips through his veins, setting every nerve ablaze. His body seizes, his teeth clench so hard he feels them crack. His vision whites out as volts surge through his skull, his muscles convulsing uncontrollably. The stench of burning flesh fills the air, and for a moment, he is certain he is going to die. But he doesn't. The electricity stops. His body slumps forward, smoke rising from his skin. His heart pounds wildly in his chest, but it is still beating. The speaker crackles back to life. "Impossible." Muffled voices, urgent, frantic. A door opens, and men in uniforms rush in. One shines a light in his eyes. Another presses fingers against his pulse, shaking his head. "He's still alive," someone whispers. "How?" The next few weeks are a blur of experiments, restraints, and agonizing tests. They try everything. A second round in the chair, higher voltage, longer duration. He feels it, every second of it. The burning, the muscle spasms, the unbearable, torturous sensation of death almost taking him. But it never does. They take a scalpel to his skin, carving deep into his flesh. He bleeds, he screams. But the wounds don't kill him. They sew him back together, wait for him to die from shock, from blood loss. But he doesn't. They starve him. No food, no water. Days pass, then weeks. His body should waste away, shrivel into nothing. But he stays the same, hollow-eyed, shaking, weak but alive. They lock him in a room, airtight, no oxygen. He suffocates, gasping, clawing at his throat. But he doesn't die. They inject him with lethal toxins, cyanide, arsenic, poisons that should shut down his nervous system in seconds. He feels everything. His organs twist, his blood thickens, his heart stops, then starts again. They bring in scientists, priests, soldiers. Theories are thrown around. Is he a god? A demon? Something else? More tests, more suffering. They drill into his skull. They set him on fire. They push him off buildings. They drown him in tanks of ice-cold water. They slice open his chest, pluck his heart from his body, watch in horror as the organ keeps beating in their hands. He loses track of time. He stops screaming. He stops feeling. Eventually, they stop speaking to him. No more explanations. No more trials. Just cold hands forcing him into restraints, dull needles piercing his skin. Endless attempts to end him. One day after what feels like an eternity, he is strapped to the chair again. The same cold metal, the same buzzing lights, the same speaker crackling to life. "Prisoner 917, the voice says. the same words, the same sentence. You have been found guilty of crimes against humanity. You will now receive your sentence. He exhales. He understands now. This is his punishment. He will never die. They will never stop trying, and he will feel every second of it forever.